Hey you guys, and welcome to another video. In today's video I wanted to do my first ever books I did not finish video. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing this outfit for my next couple of videos, I'm filming now because I haven't filmed a video for 2 weeks I think, because first off I had an operation which was absolutely fine. I just wasn't really in the mood, I wasn't really in the place to be like getting up and filming and everything. And then a few days after I kind of had my checkup after my operation, I went back to university, and you guys may have seen on my social media, my Snapchat and Instagram and things, my entire house flooded. After my house flooded, it kind of just got me down a little bit because I'm so close to finishing university and the house is really not as nice as it used to be. And it was like a really nice house, but obviously everything is kind of water damaged, there's damp everywhere. It's just not very nice. All of the electrics have kind of been taken out so it's safe and everything like that, and it stinks so bad. But anyways, I am back filming and I just want to jump straight into it. I just want to put in a quick disclaimer, just because I'm saying that I didn't enjoy these books. Please don't be offended if you really love these books. And I'm probably going to say that this book isn't for me anymore, just because my taste in literature kind of has changed a little bit since I've gotten these books. Please don't be offended if I say anything like that, it's just my personal opinion. So pretty much all of these books, apart from one, are books that I stopped reading for some reason, and I have no intention of going back to them. There is one book that I didn't finish, but I would like to go back and finish reading it. So the first book is The Last Star by Rick Yancey. This is the third and final installment in the 5th wave. I'm assuming it's a trilogy. I feel like I've kind of just outgrown the whole apocalyptic alien invasion kind of thing. This really doesn't appeal to me anymore. Next up, I have two books that in my mind seem really similar because I don't really know anything about them. And the first one is Matched by Ali Condi, and the second one is The Selection by Kira Cass. I know that The Selection is a really popular series, but neither of these really appeal to me. I have read both of them. I've got like, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 pages in. They just blur into one. I don't really remember much about either of them, but it's just kind of that world of like a higher society or like a changed society. I'm not even sure, to be honest, but these just don't really appeal to me at all anymore. The one book that I stopped reading but I would really like to go back and read again is The Ruby Circle by Rochelle Mead, and this is in the Bloodlines series. I've outgrown this series so much, in the Vampire Academy series, but I'm always just going to have an attachment to these characters and to Sydney and Adrian and everything like that, so I think it'd be nice to kind of go back and like rekindle my teenage love for Rochelle Mead's writing. The next book is Vendetta by Catherine Doyle. Casey from Casey Ann Books is really obsessed with this series and she really highly recommended it, so I bought it. And it was just really stereotypical for me. I read like 10 pages and it was like, oh, hot boys have just moved into a house, so mysterious, so hot. And I was just like, oh, this isn't for me. The next book that I have seen a lot of hype about, and I actually think this is an arc, is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I was so excited to read this. Like, I started reading it as soon as I got it. I'm so disappointed because I've heard so many people say good things about this book. There's one scene in the first like 20 pages of this when she's being chased down a hallway or something, but there's someone behind her and they're running, and just like the imagery just doesn't make sense. Like, they're outside and then all of a sudden they're inside or something like that, and it was just, there was enough reason within the first 35 pages for me to say this book is just not going to be enjoyable for me. The next book that I have is pretty much the only contemporary that I wanted to mention in this video, and it is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I feel like Rainbow Rowell is one of those authors that everyone hypes up, kind of like John Green, for no reason. And then you kind of get round to reading her books and you're like, oh, this is mediocre at best. I think Rainbow Rowell is kind of problematic after having a discussion about Eleanor and Park and just like how it's blatantly racist. I don't really have any desire to go back and read any of Rainbow's books or anything like that, but Fangirl just seemed so like on the surface and just really boring to me. The last book that I have is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rash. When characters put pieces of a puzzle together and they finally figure things out, that's great because that's part of the narrative and you kind of already know that that's kind of coming. Whereas if a writer just writes a character and writes something into the plot but has the character picking it out of their brain out of nowhere, it kind of seems like it kind of feels kind of unjust when the author does that, and you're just like, where is this coming from? And you've just kind of cheated. You didn't want to write it into the plot, so you've just kind of written it into your character's kind of narrative and their dialogue, and to me it just seems kind of like a cheat to do it that way rather than kind of having it as a subplot. I might just be talking out of my arse because I haven't read this book in such a long time, but I have no intention of going back and reading it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any video recommendations, please leave them in the comments down below, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.